All right, I'm joined now by Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, a Democrat from New York. And Representative, thanks for being here. A key to the success here of the Affordable Care Act certainly is the numbers that will be signing up, and the president, the White House, going out with a campaign. They were even handing out small flyers at nightclubs where young people theoretically could pick it up, remember, and sign up and get into their health insurance policy that the ACA depends on so much. Is this going to work? Is it going to bring in these youth, these young people that's so much needed?
Well, I anticipate that there will be a robust enrollment, and we've started to see signs of that moving forward. Clearly, there were issues with the initial rollout, but those largely seem to have been put behind us.
Yeah.
We're over 1 million individuals right now who have been enrolled here in New York State. Yeah. We've got over 250,000 individuals who've been enrolled and either have been assigned plans or been determined to be eligible. And so those are all signs of progress and steps in the right direction, which I expect to continue in the new year.
So as a member of the Budget Committee, and you're watching all these numbers here, right? 7 million is what the White House would like to have signed up. They don't get that number. They get halfway. What does that mean financially?
Well, I think that eventually we will get to that number. Now, we may not get to that number on the timeline originally set forth by the White House, but it is clear to me, similar to the fact that in the 1930s there were issues initially with the rollout of Social Security. We've gotten past that. In the 1960s there were issues with the rollout of Medicare. We've gotten past that. There were going to be challenges, but the fundamental of providing affordable, quality health care to otherwise uninsured Americans and preventing insurance companies from injecting people with pre-existing conditions, those are important things that the American people will embrace.
Some of them are seeing just prices, and you heard some of the concerns that your fellow lawmakers are making. Is that going to hold up the adoption rate here? Well,
there are anecdotal issues that have been presented that do perhaps affect some people who may see an increase in insurance, but that also will often depend on the fact that these individuals were on a subpar plan. The law has been changed to elevate their coverage.
Some folks just see the price tag. What are you telling your constituents that ask you this question?
Well, I haven't had a great deal of constituents express concern relative to their individual situation. We are saying, take a close look at what is being offered, what you previously had, what you will now have under the Affordable Care Act, and evaluate the level of service and the service increase before making a determination as to whether this is a good thing for your family or not.
So front page Washington Post talking about the ACA, and one of the implementers, CGI, who was the lead organization, this is it right here, and in that article they remark that some of the executives were involved in 20 other projects with the federal government that did not go off well. Does this vetting process for these outsourcing organizations, businesses, that concern you?
Well, overall, I think the government can always be made more efficient, and there's going to be some lessons that we need to learn from the flawed rollout of the Affordable Care Act and the individuals who are involved. I expect that the Congress will take a look at that moving forward. We should do that in a bipartisan way, not designed to kill the Affordable Care Act, but designed to improve the efficiency of government moving forward.
Okay, I want to play a little bit of sound here from Senator Coburn and what he had to say about the deficit, and I want to talk to you and get your reaction about the budget right now.
All right.
The reason we're in trouble on deficits and debts is not because we didn't agree, but because we did. So we passed a bill that raises spending and raises taxes and denies what we promised the American people, and everybody says, oh, my goodness, how great.
Do you think it's great?
Well, I think that it was a modest step in the right direction. For the first time in several years, we'll actually have a budget moving forward that provides some measure of stability and certainty. That's what businesses have been asking for. Now, we do have to deal with our deficit issue, but we also have to deal with the fact that the economic recovery for working families and for middle-class folks has still been stalled and schizophrenic. And in order to get that right, we've got to invest in the American worker and the American economy. Now, we do have to deal with long-term concerns, approaching $18 trillion in debt. We also have to understand that the fundamental causes of that debt related to some decisions that were made by the prior administration and previous Congresses. And those very same forces are now often the people who are critical of the situation that we find ourselves in.
So, Congressman, you remember this time last year we were talking about fiscal cliff, right?
Yeah.
And all of you were working very late, all the way through the new year. You finished the year with a deal. Do you think that after the break we're going to have a different Congress?
Well, I'm very hopeful.
Different tone?
Well, I'm hopeful, and certainly the government shutdown was unreasonable. It was reckless. It cost the American people, $24 billion in lost economic productivity.
Yeah.
It would be a good thing if some of the extremism is out of the system of those in Congress who've been purveyors of that, and we can work on the issues of comprehensive immigration reform, gun violence prevention,
50-50?
raise the minimum wage. 50-50 shot.
Okay, 50-50 is what Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, not a betting man, taking it down the middle there. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
All right, consumers take a swipe at Target through